Hello students, today I am going to make this video for my students of Theory of Automata and Formal Languages who are still confused that how to make a finite automata, how to make a FA if a descriptive language statement is given or the regular expression is given and the student is required to make the desired FA for that. Students are still confused. So today in this video I will show you how to make an FA when you are given the regular expression in the question. So without wasting time, I would move forward to the first question. So if the first question is the regular expression given here is a, and the sigma is defined over a plus b whole closure, right? So here a plus b and star, the closure, it is the sigma. And what does the regular expression mean? It means that the FM would start at A and later on we would be having all the concatenations of A and B in that. So let's make the finite automata for this regular expression. Remember, we have 2 points in our finite automata. The one is initial point, right, denoted by minus, and the other is plus. This is our final point denoted by plus, right? So we are given that this finite automata is starting with a, so we would mention a over here, and later on all the concatenations of a and b would be included in it, so we would mention a comma b, right? So up till here it is the correct automata, but adding a basket state of the b makes it more appropriate, right? So we are not gonna mentioning it as the plus sign because we are going to start this finite automata at a, right? So we are just taking this one as a basket state, right? So this is how you can make an FA for the regular expression where we were given that FM would start at A, right? It is starting from A, and A plus B are all the concatenations of A and B, right? So now we would move to our next question. In the next question, we would take the same example like if it is starting with B. Again a plus b at the whole closure, so it would be same like that, but the only difference would be in that we were taking the basket state as b and here we would be taking the basket state as a, and the rest of the FA would remain as same as it was for the previous question where we were given that FA must be starting from A, and later on we would be having all the concatenations of A and B, and here we are given that our FA must be starting from B, right? So here we are gonna mentioning it as our final state and this is our basket state. Hope so you got the difference between both. Now the next question is if we are given the regular expression as a plus b a plus b and then whole closure of both the concatenation. So this is an FA for the even language, right? So we are going to draw an FA for this So in the even language we take the first one state as the initial state as well as the final state, right? Same we would mention here A, B. So first A would move to this state A, or then A again to the final state, back to the initial state, double A, double B, double A, double B, 4 A's, 4 B's, or whatever the concatenations will be, but we have to keep the count as even, as we are given in the regular expression that this is an example for the even language. So we have to keep the count even. It depends on you how do you make the string, but it must be even. Double A's, double B's, 4 A's, 4 B's, it depends on you, right? So moving to the next question, if you are given for the even language, it would be like this, right? The regular expression would become just an addition of A plus B into it. And here we are gonna remove this plus sign also. This would become our final state. This is our initial state and this is our final state. So this is now the regular expression for the odd language, and the only difference between the even language and odd language is that in even language we are taking the first state as both the initial state as well as the final state, but in the odd language we are taking the first state as the initial state and the second one as the final state. So this is the difference between both the languages, which is quite clear from the regular expression, the even and odd languages. So now we would move to our next question, right? That is that if our FA is ending at A, right? So its regular expression would be given like as this, right? So what this regular expression mean? First let me explain it to you. So this includes all our concatenation as the sigma is defined over A and B, right? And then it's ending at A. So as I have already told you that there are 2 points in our FA. The one is initial point, the other is final point, right? This is our initial point and this is our final point. It is ending at A, right? So here if we want to end it at the final position, we have to take a self loop of A over here. Clear? So just to balance the FA, we have to move the B back to the initial position, and here we have to take the self loop of B. As you can see in the regular expression, we are not given the condition that it cannot start with B, but here in the regular expression, here in the FA, just to balance it, we have started it with the, we have taken the self loop of B at the initial point. So if B would come at the initial point, it would remain at the initial point. It's not gonna move to the final point. Here you can see that A is moving towards the final point and it's ending with A, as we have taken the self loop of A there, right? So if we are given the regular expression that it is ending with B, not with A, so we are gonna end it with B, right? So here we have to make very few changes. We have to make it A, we have to make it A, and we have to make it B, and we are taking here B as a self loop. So you can see that if from the initial point B is moving towards the final point and we are taking a self loop of B on the final point to keep B at the final point and make the FA end at B position, B alphabet, right? So these both were also the similar examples like we discussed previously. So I hope so the difference is now quite clear between both of them.